Long night's journey today, the price I must pay for loving you, babe. Stumbling round in the dark, I'm falling apart, still chained to your heart.
At home with Tracy and the Big D, and Van Walker joins us now to talk about not just one single, but a few singles coming out, and something everyone's looking forward to is the album later on in the year. But we thought we'd focus on the single Long Night's Journey today. G'day Van, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is something special, of course. The lead single, Spirit World, came out, but you're following it up with 3 singles. Tell us about that.
The choice to do with 3 singles is really so that DJs can choose what they'd like to play and not feel as if they need to, be forced into playing anything that I choose. It's just to give us more option.
How did the title come about, Long Night's Journey Today?
Long Night's Journey Today, a song about coming through a long sort of transitional period. There's a famous play by the American playwright Eugene O'Neill called Long Day's Journey into Night. I somehow stole that and sort of twisted it around a little bit. It was a song that I wrote not too long ago, and it's just when I started singing the lyrics, that was what came out.
People would say you've got a very unique voice in the delivery of what you do.
Well, I'm not sure. I just sing the way I sing. I think when I first started getting interested in music, everyone I knew could play instruments better than I could, so I used to sing. So I've always sang, and me and my brother, even before we were musicians, we used to sort of harmonise. We'd always share a room, and our sister would have her own room, and we'd lay in bed, at night time, bored when we had to have to go to bed, and sometimes we would harmonise together, and we didn't even really know what we were doing. Someone would just go, "Brr," and the other one would go, "Brr." And we used to find that really kind of interesting. And years later, we ended up on stage doing that. I sing a lot of different styles of music. Like I do a lot of rock and roll stuff, so that's a lot more aggressive and a lot more screamy, and I've sort of been doing that for years. Now when I do lower kind of balladier sort of stuff, my voice is very quite sort of gravelly and rough, but it's important to choose songs in a certain key, I think. I think certain keys really will suit a certain style of song. Some people, I think it doesn't really matter, but I think it does.
Now, Jeff Lang helped you out on this single?
Yeah, Jeff Lang, the amazing guitarist, is playing a lot of bass on the record. He does play, one of the singles is Drifting Too Far From Shore. Jeff plays a lead guitar solo on that song. But yeah, he's playing some really fantastic bass on a lot of the songs on the album, which is in some senses perverse, seeing how he's such a renowned guitarist. I think when you hear him play bass, his musical ability comes through whatever he plays.
The little man sure can play.
He can play, yes. He's got an extremely good ear. He's got a technique and proficiency that is just, I don't think anyone in the world can match him.
We're looking at August 28, Ghosting, the album's going to be released. That must be exciting.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming. I started the record with Jeff about 4 years ago. I recorded a bunch of stuff. I was sort of feeling out a certain sort of an album and trying stuff out. And I remember I'd recorded about 30 or something songs with Jeff. And then I sort of had some time off as I sort of tried to work through personal problems. And then I sort of came back and was like, well, I've got some new songs. And Jeff sort of said, what do you mean you've got new songs? We've got about 3 albums here. And I said, oh, no, I was just sort of trying stuff out. And then the longer it went, it ended up, I actually took some time out. And then when I sort of came back, this long journey back into doing it again, I wrote more music that I thought made more sense to give the album an actual sort of context. And I wrote and recorded new material. And then, here we are now, and it was a sort of a 4-year process to get it all done. We're about a month away from the release of the album, and it's been a long journey. It's quite amazing. There's a lot of emotion sort of coming up now because finally it's going to see the light of day.
Well, it's been 4 years, but folks, you don't have to wait 4 years. You can get hold of the singles now. Long Night's Journey Today, easily accessible now. The album out on August 28. Van Walker, it's great to catch up with you, and we'll look forward to doing it again real soon.
Baby, please believe what you mean to me. Everything, long night's journey today, the price I must pay.